Hello students, this is video number 2, chapter 6, application of derivatives. In my last class, I had told you first application of the derivative, which is rate of change of quantities. Today we will learn how to determine whether the function is increasing and decreasing functions. So I can give you straight away the formulas, but I need to explain something over here, the concept. Just see over here, we are taking some examples. Let us consider two linear functions. First function which I have considered is y is equal to x plus 4. Do you remember which is this form of the line? Yes, y is equal to mx plus c. That means slope over here m is 1 and intercept, y-intercept is 4. This you have learned in grade 11. So over here, when you draw the graph, the intercept is 4 and slope is 1, the positive slope, that means the line would be something like this, and that means it is making an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis, and theta will be acute. Theta is the acute angle, and we observe here then as x is increasing, the value of x we are increasing, the fx also keeps on increasing. Over here, this was x, this was the value of fx. When it is coming over here, the value of fx also increases. When you come here, the value of fx is now this. At this point, the value of fx is this. So when x is increasing, going towards the right side, fx is going upwards. Fx means over here nothing but the y coordinate. So it is going upwards. So both of them are increasing. In such cases, we call it is an increasing function. This is the increasing function. Okay. So now let us consider the next thing. Next equation I am considering is y is equal to minus x plus 4. So slope is minus 1 and intercept is 4. Here we observe that when x increases, this is the line, this is the y-intercept 4, and the positive direction of x-axis, the angle will be something like this. That means theta is obtuse over here. That means the slope is negative. When theta is obtuse, the slope will be negative. So this is over here we observe when x is increasing, x is going this side, but y value will keep on coming down. Over here the y value at this point was this. At this point when x is increasing is this, fx is decreasing, x is increasing but fx is decreasing. So when x increases and fx is decreasing, so it is in such cases we call it a decreasing function. So this was a case of a linear equation. Now let us consider another case. Y is equal to sin x, the trigonometric function, or you can also write it as fx is equal to sin x. So we know the graph of the sin x function. At 0, sin 0 is 0. Then sin pi by 2 is 1. Then sin pi is again 0. Sin 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. Then sin 2 pi is again 0. So this is the graph. It will keep on continuing. It's a periodic function. So we observe when you say, what about this? Is it an increasing or a decreasing function? We don't know. By observing the graph, I can say that between 0 to pi by 2, as x is increasing, fx is also increasing. So fx is increasing. I can use this sign, upward arrow. So in 0 to pi by 2, the function is increasing. In pi by 2 to pi, the x value keeps on increasing, but the graph is coming down. So in pi by 2 to pi, fx is decreasing. But if I consider this 0 to pi, it is increasing also, it is decreasing also. If I see, whenever such types of question comes, first question is that in which interval we are talking about the function to be increasing or decreasing. If I am talking about 0 to pi by 2, we'll say it is increasing. If I am talking about pi by 2 to pi, it is decreasing. But what about 0 to pi? It is increasing also, it is decreasing also. So in such cases, when function is both increasing and decreasing in a particular interval, we say that fx is neither increasing nor decreasing. So when it is both increasing and decreasing, we call that function is neither increasing nor decreasing in that particular interval in 0 to pi. So this was the cases when I know the graph of this, I know the graph of this, I know the graph of sine function. But what about this function? F of x is equal to x minus 3 whole cube, x plus 1 whole square. I do not know the graph of this function. So what are we going to do? Children, first I'll go back to the previous example, fx is equal to sin x. Just observe one thing, when the function is increasing, At this point where the function is increasing on this curve, if I draw any tangent at any point of this curve, we observe that these tangents are making an acute angle with the positive direction of x-axis. So that means and if I draw a tangent at any point when the function is decreasing, I can observe that the tangent is making a obtuse angle with the positive direction of x-axis. You make any tangent on this graph, the tangent will make an obtuse angle with the positive direction of x-axis. So what do we conclude from here? Now if I draw tangent at any point on the curve in 0 to pi by 2, I observe that it is having positive slope. That is, positive slope means what? That is f dash x is greater than 0. And if I do the same in pi by 2 to pi, I observe that f dash x is greater than 0. Over here f dash x is over here it is less than 0. F dash x is less than 0. So we conclude that if f dash x is greater than 0 in AB, then function is increasing, and if f dash x is less than 0 in the open interval AB, the function is decreasing. So this is what we observe. So this formula I could have given you straight away, but I wanted to explain through a diagram that f dash x, if it is greater than 0, then the function is increasing, and so here the role of derivative comes. So this is the application of derivative. That means we have to find over here dy by dx. If dy by dx is greater than 0, then the function is increasing in a particular interval, and if it is less than 0, then the function is decreasing. So let us see the following graphs now. I have taken an interval a to b, and the graph is, first it is with x is increasing, it is increasing, then it becomes constant, and then again it is increasing. Where it is constant, then the value of f dash x will become 0 at those points. So you can say that f dash x is greater than or equal to 0 over here for all x belonging to this interval AB. So the function we call it is a increasing function when f dash x is greater than or equal to 0. What about this case? Over here it is continuously increasing. When x is increasing, fx is also increasing. Over here at no point the value of f dash x is 0. The value of f dash x is 0 only when the tangent becomes parallel to x-axis, and here at no point the tangent will become parallel to x-axis. So in such a case, when f dash x is greater than 0 and not equal to 0, only greater than 0, mind you, over here it was greater than or equal to 0, so increasing. But if it is greater than 0, it will be called strictly increasing. If the function is strictly increasing, obviously it will be increasing also. So next thing is this graph. First, with the value of x increasing, the graph is going downwards. That means fx is decreasing. Then at some point it is becoming constant, and then again it is decreasing. So f dash x is less than or equal to 0. At these points where it is constant, it will be equal to 0. So for all x belonging to AB. So in this case, we can call it a decreasing function when less than or equal to 0, when f dash x is less than or equal to 0. Similarly, here it is constantly decreasing, while value of fx is decreasing as x is increasing. So it is called a strictly decreasing function because at no point f dash x becomes 0. So this is a strictly decreasing function. And this case I have already told you that it is neither increasing nor decreasing. This is the graph of the sin x. You can take any other graph also. Over here we say that the function is neither increasing nor decreasing. If you take a particular interval, suppose 0 to pi by 2, then only we can say that it is increasing. So over here there are two types of questions which can be asked here in this chapter, and normally a 4 marker is asked from here. Check, or they can say prove, whether the given function is increasing or decreasing in the given interval. Some function will be given to you, some interval will be given to you, and you have to check or you have to prove that the function is increasing or decreasing, or strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. Something will be given to you. type 2 question will be find the interval in which the given function is increasing or decreasing. So here we have to find the interval in which the function is increasing or decreasing. One function will be given to you and we have to find the interval. Here the interval is also given, function is also given, and we have to check whether it is strictly increasing, strictly decreasing, increasing or decreasing. Here interval is not given, that we have to find out. Only the function is given. So example 1, prove that the function f of x is equal to cos x is strictly decreasing. So this is type 1. Strictly decreasing in 0 to pi, strictly increasing in pi to 2 pi, neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to 2 pi. So let us see over here solution. F of x I have written cos x. So I am not going to use the graphs over here. We will follow this method. We will find, because we are using application of derivatives, so we will use derivatives only here. So f dash x is equal to minus sine x. So this is the interval 0 to pi. 0 to pi means first and second quadrant, isn't it? First and second quadrant, 0 to pi. So sine x is greater than 0 in first and second quadrant, as you have done in grade 11. Let us revise this. In the first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios are positive, all, and in the second quadrant only sine is positive. In the third quadrant only tan is positive. In the fourth quadrant cos is positive, and its reciprocal. Sine and cosec, tan and cot, cos and sec are positive here. So all students of 10th class, that is how you remember. So 0 to pi, this is 0 and this is pi. This is pi by 2. This is 3 pi by 2. So in 0 to pi, here all trigonometric ratios are positive. Here sine is positive. Sine is positive in both first and second quadrant. That means 0 to pi is greater than 0. So minus sine x will be less than 0, obviously. If you put a minus sign with a positive value, it will become less than 0. That means f dash x is less than 0 for all x belonging to 0 to pi. So fx is strictly decreasing. Why haven't I put over here the less than equal to? Because this is the open interval. That means 0 and pi are not included. If 0 and at 0, sine becomes 0, at pi also sine becomes 0, but at all other points between 0 to pi it will not be it will not be 0 anywhere. So equal to 0 will not be put. That is why it is strictly decreasing in open interval 0 to pi. Now strictly increasing in pi to 2 pi. Pi to 2 pi means this is pi and this again becomes 2 pi. If you add 3 pi by 2 plus pi by 2, here this is a periodic function, here 2 pi comes. So pi to 2 pi, you can see that only tan and cos are positive, or cot here is positive, sec here is positive, but here sine is negative. So sine x is less than 0 for all x belonging to pi to 2 pi. So minus sine x, obviously to a negative number, if you say again negative, it will become positive, negative become positive. So minus sine x is greater than 0 for all x belonging to pi to 2 pi. So f dash x is greater than 0 for all x belonging to pi to 2 pi. So fx is strictly increasing in pi to 2 pi. So in 0 to pi it is less than 0, derivative is less than 0. In pi to 2 pi it is greater than 0. So somewhere in pi 0 to 2 pi, what would you say? It is increasing also, it is decreasing also. In 0 to 2 pi it is decreasing as well as increasing. So we say that fx is neither increasing nor decreasing in 0 to 2 pi. That was the third part, which follows from first and second part. So this is the next example, over here, example number 2. Find the interval in which this function, now this is the second type of question. The function x square minus 6x plus 2 is strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. So first step over here is to find the derivative. So we have found the derivative. Now we have to equate this derivative to 0 to find a point where the f dash x will become 0. So we have found that point, that is 3. If I equate this to 0, I will get x as 3. This point is called the critical point. At this point f dash x will become 0. So you substitute x as 3, 2 3 is 6 minus 6, it becomes 0. This is called a critical point. Now fx is defined in R. You know that this is a polynomial function, and function is defined in the whole of R, in the whole of real number line. So it divides the real number line into two disjoint intervals, that is minus infinity to 3, this critical point, and 3 to infinity, the open interval. I will not take closed over here, because if I take closed at that point, the f dash x becomes 0. And here the question is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. I don't want that point where it is increasing or decreasing. So strictly increasing, f dash x should not become equal to 0. That is why I have taken open interval. If it is increasing, then I would have taken over here closed interval. So in minus infinity to 3, you take any point. Minus infinity to 3 includes 0 also. Substitute 0 over here. What do you observe? 2 into 0, 0, minus 6. 0 minus 6 is minus 6. So at any point, f dash x will be less than 0. You can take any point. Not only 0, you can take 1, you can take 2. Any point between minus infinity to 3, you will see that this f dash x will be less than 0. Therefore, fx is strictly decreasing in minus infinity to 3. In 3 to infinity, let us observe, take any point after this. Suppose I take 4. 4, substitute over here 4. In f dash x, 2 4s are 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 is positive. So f dash x is greater than 0 in this interval. Take any point. Take it 4, 5, any point. So fx is strictly increasing in 3 to infinity. So this is what we wanted to prove. So we have proved. We have to find the interval. We have to find the interval. So in this interval, it is strictly increasing. In this interval, it is strictly increasing over here and strictly decreasing over here. There is a remark. It may so happen that we do not get a critical point. For example, a linear function which we have studied just now. F dash x is what over here? 1. And we won't be able to, this is independent of x. So there is no need to find the critical point, and it is greater than 0 for any value of x, because it is independent of x. So this function is strictly increasing in R. So here we don't need to find the critical points. So I'll discuss 2 questions right now, and rest of the questions I'll discuss in the next video. Exercise 6.2, question number 5. Find the intervals in which the function f given by this is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing. So again, you know the steps. First, I'll find the derivative, equate it to 0, and now we will get a quadratic equation, so factorize it. So here there are 2 critical points, minus 2 and 3. So 2 critical points will divide it into 3 intervals, 3 disjoint intervals. This is the again a polynomial function which is defined in the whole of R. So minus infinity to minus 2, then minus 2 to 3, and 3 to infinity. Again, it is strictly increasing and strictly decreasing, so we'll take the open interval only. So I have taken the open interval, and we'll see the sign of f dash x over here. F dash x is this. So 6 is positive, so first quantity is positive. X minus 3, minus infinity to minus 2 has what? You can take over here minus 3. So minus 3 I am taking. So minus 3 is minus 6. So next sign is also negative. Minus 3 plus 2 is minus 1, which is also negative. So plus into negative is positive. So it is strictly increasing. Now minus 2 to 3, the easiest way is take 0, x as 0. So this first is positive. This is 0 minus 3 is negative. And then 0 plus 2 is positive. So plus minus plus will be minus. So strictly decreasing over here. Nature of fx will be strictly decreasing. 3 to infinity, let us observe, take any point 4. Suppose 4 I am taking after this. So substitute x as 4. First one is positive. 4 minus 3 is also positive. 4 plus 2 is also positive. So it is positive. So it is strictly increasing in this interval. So fx is strictly increasing in 2 intervals, this and this. So we'll take the union of that. And it is strictly decreasing in minus 2 to 3. Next question, question number 6, part E. F of x is x plus 1 whole cube, x minus 3 whole cube. So you find f dash x and you factorize it. After factorizing, you see that this is greater than 0. This is also a square, which will be always, square will always be, whether x is negative or positive will not matter. Square will become positive. X minus 3 whole square is also positive. So it depends upon this sign of this, whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So we have to find that only. So if x minus 1 is greater than 0, that means x is greater than 1, then f dash x will be greater than 0, because all these are greater than 0. So this will also become greater than 0 for all x greater than 1. So fx is strictly increasing in 1 to infinity. And if I take this as less than 0, these are positive, and one quantity will become negative. So f dash x for x less than 1 becomes less than 0. So fx is strictly decreasing in minus infinity to 1. So this is all for today, children. So I'll be discussing rest of the exercise in the next video. Thank you so much.